Okay, let's unpack this. Think about how much time we actually spend, inside.
A lot, probably more than we realize.
Exactly. And what's all around us? Furniture. Our sofas, chairs, desks, beds.
Stuff we use every single day.
But have you ever really, stopped to think about what's in that furniture? The actual chemicals.
It's a layer of our environment we don't often consciously consider, is it?
Right.
But the sources we're looking at today, they make it really clear. Our indoor health, it's not just about temperature or humidity or even things like mold.
Okay.
A huge and often kind of overlooked factor comes from chemical pollutants. They're released directly from the materials and the coatings used in our furniture and other building stuff too.
Right. And the source material, it really pushes beyond just, avoiding the obviously nasty stuff we might have heard of.
Yeah, it's not just about the big scary chemicals.
No. It highlights this near focus on reducing the overall chemical impact, the cumulative load of all the different things off-gassing.
The total picture.
Right. The goal, they say, is ensuring comfort, even when you've got low levels of multiple pollutants hanging around.
Exactly. Comfort. It's about recognizing that even small amounts of lots of different things can, well, add up.
Okay.
And that perspective, managing the total chemical load well, that's led to some pretty complex ways of setting limits and evaluating products.
How so?
Well, we're looking at combined parameters, sophisticated testing criteria. It's not just policing single substances one by one anymore. It's trickier than that.
Gotcha. So for this deep dive, then, our mission is really to pull the key insights from these sources.
Yeah.
We want to understand, okay, what chemicals are actually showing up in furniture? How do they affect our indoor air, our health? What are regulations trying to do? And are there alternatives?
Let's jump right in there. So the sources tell us these chemicals mostly get into our air through off-gassing.
Off-gassing, like evaporation.
Sort of, yeah. Volatile substances basically evaporate from the materials over time. Volatile organic compounds, VOCs, that's a major category.
VOCs, I've heard of those.
You probably have. Common ones, like formaldehyde, often found in adhesives used in composite woods. Think particle board, MDF.
Stuff that's in a lot of furniture.
Yeah.
Okay, so why should we care about breathing this stuff in? What do the sources say about the health side?
Well, the impacts can really range depending on the specific chemical, the exposure level, all that. But collectively,
Yeah.
they're linked to things like respiratory irritation, maybe headaches, dizziness, feeling tired, sort of short-term stuff.
Okay.
But longer-term exposure, especially to something like formaldehyde, well, that's raised concerns about more serious effects, too. The sources really stress this isn't just theoretical. It's a real factor affecting the air you're breathing at home every day.
And that brings us back to that cumulative idea, right? If you've got emissions from the sofa, the carpet, paint, the desk, even low levels from each one could add up.
Precisely. It's often not one chemical at a super high level. It's this cocktail of many different things at lower levels.
So how are regulations and standards even trying to tackle that complexity, the combined impact?
It's definitely challenging because of that cocktail effect. The sources mention that standards are moving more towards testing the product itself as a whole.
The finished chair, not just the glue.
Exactly. Setting limits based on total VOC emissions, or maybe specific limits for the really concerning substances coming from the final product, not just regulating the raw ingredients going in. And that's where those complex criteria come in, trying to evaluate the overall emissions profile to ensure that, comfort level, reducing the total chemical burden indoors.
Right. So, okay, what can someone actually do with this info? Did the sources mention concrete steps?
Absolutely. One of the most direct actions, and it's highlighted in the sources, is to look for furniture or building products that are certified for low VOC emissions.
Like those labels you sometimes see.
Yeah, certifications like Green Guard or maybe Cradle to Cradle.
What?
It means the product's been tested and verified to release significantly fewer of these chemicals compared to, well, uncertified ones.
So it's a way to make a more informed choice.
Definitely, based on the actual emissions.
And does this consumer awareness, this demand for safer stuff, seem to be pushing the industry towards more sustainable practices?
It really does seem to be. This awareness about off-gassing is definitely feeding into the bigger sustainability movement in furniture making.
How so?
Manufacturers are, increasingly looking into and using materials that are just inherently less toxic or maybe more biodegradable or easier to recycle.
Okay.
And the sources specifically point to safer alternatives becoming more common. Things like switching from solvent-based coatings, which are often high in VOCs,
Right.
to water-based ones,
Yeah.
or using formaldehyde-free adhesives in wood products, even using natural flame retardants from, say, wool or plants, instead of potentially harmful chemical treatments.
Interesting. So understanding what's potentially lurking in your furniture, it empowers you to maybe create a healthier space at home by choosing lower emitting things.
Mhm.
But it also helps push the whole industry towards safer, more sustainable materials.
Exactly. It connects your personal health choices directly to broader environmental responsibility.
Okay, so here's something to think about then. Given this goal of reducing the overall chemical impact for comfort, not just avoiding obvious harm, how does that change how you think about the actual materials your furniture is made from? Something to mull over for your own space.